Hey guys, Casual Chrono here. In this video, it's about time to finally upgrade my team. So right now, I have 203 characters. I've been playing pretty much since the beginning, free to play, so I'm really happy to have all of those characters. Right now, I have some form of every character except Levia, because I'm still working on fishing, Yakumo, Sazanka, and Mazrika. Otherwise, I have at least one form of everyone else. So I have been, besides fishing, I've been running my red and green keys, collecting chants, collecting treatises, opuses, etc. And it's finally about time for me to gain some more characters. So first of all, normally, right now it is November 2024, and we are in an encounter with the Whisper of Time. We get 20 free pools. So normally I would wait until all 20 are done, but you know what? It's a game. I just want to have fun. Because I could always end up pulling one of the characters I'm about to upgrade. But so far, actually, this is probably my best pull out of, I think, 9 days, 8 days, something like that now. I've gotten pretty much all 3 stars. So, yay, Runa gets 4 more points. So, the main characters I am going to upgrade, so I'll kind of show you where I'm at right now. All of these characters have some form of an upgrade waiting for them. The only ones I cannot upgrade right now, Lingley. I only have 2 of her treatises. I can buy 2 more, but I still need to have a 5th one randomly drop if I really wanted to spend the gems to buy one. But I really haven't felt compelled to, so I can't upgrade her. Cesta's AS style came out recently, and I have not gotten any treatise drops yet. And then Tuva I've had for a long time, and her Cursed Bride I've been stuck at 4 treatises for a long time. I could buy the 5th one, but I don't really see any use for the Cursed Bride, so her ES style is much more popular. So I can't upgrade them, but I can upgrade any of the other characters that you see here to pretty much any form except one, CL, his Melodist style, which requires running a specific dungeon. I only have 19 of the 30 psalms, so can't upgrade him, but I could do Mellow Diva if I really wanted to. So running red and green dungeons, I have gotten up to 58 chant scripts now. As far as the altars, I can't do Primaya. She still has 1 opus that has not dropped for me. I can do most of the others. I cannot do Subame either. I have not gotten any of her opuses. Opi? I'm not sure what the plural of opus is. But I can do all the others. So because these all count as separate characters, they're not another style version. So if I have 203 characters, if I upgrade all 4 of them, I would have 207 characters. And that is exactly what I plan to do. I am going to go ahead and just start collecting the altars. That way I'll only have 2 left. And to celebrate the altar collection, at the moment, Subame's banner is still active. It's active for 1 more week. Now, I've already pulled twice on this banner and got nothing, probably like many of you. And being free to play, I don't have that many stones banked up. I actually have 7,000 at the moment, which is nice. But looking at the other banners, I have Shanie already. And what I've done, since I'm free to play and stones are kind of rare-ish, what I've kind of mentally decided on is every time a new banner comes out, I'll do 2 free pulls. That's 2,000 stones. And then I stop. If I get the character, great. If I don't, I do not pull again, period. And I just, usually between banner releases, but right now the most recent banner is Rufus, and that was about a week ago. Usually in about 2 to 3 weeks, I can bank up the 2,000 stones that I spent on that banner. In fact, I've been going a little bit over since I've been doing a lot of fishing. I've gotten a lot of stones through it. And in Rufus's case, when I pulled on his banner, I actually got him on the first pull. It was the first time I've gotten an on-banner pull in a fair amount of time. Because when you only give yourself 2 chances, you don't really get that many on-banner pulls. So, in honor of this being my altar group, I'm going to go ahead and do a 3rd pull with Tsubame. I'm not expecting anything at all, but I've been saving up really well. I know that there is another Eden live stream coming up in about 3 more days. I think November 19th is the live stream, which usually means they're going to announce what character is going to pop up on the 21st. So even if I pull on Tsubame, that gives me 6,700 stones. I'll probably have another 300 by then, so that'll put me right at 7,000. Whatever the new character is, I'll drop 2,000 stones, and I'll have 5,000 in reserve for whatever comes along later. So, just for fun, because it's a game, have fun, I'm going to go ahead and do one more pull. Not expecting anything. I'd love it if Yakumo appeared, to be perfectly honest, even a 4-star version. But the way my luck has been, aside from Rufus, I will probably end up getting basically a lot of these types of pulls. So, 1. Oh, there's Lingley. Didn't I just get her in the free pull? Alright, so she's gotten, what, 8 shadow now? And this is pretty much how all of my pulls have been. Another shadow point for Benedict. Where are we on? 8 or 9? Oh, look, more for Benedict. Good for him. Is this the 10th pull I get? Huh. Melina. I mean, I have her. I'm not sure how many shadow points she has. Oh, that was the 9th pull. Alright. Now the 10th pull. Another Lingley. Well, if I ever get Lingley's, what does she need? A treatise? Yeah, she needs that, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but she'll be well stocked with light points. I'm curious, how many points does she have? Let's see, Lingley is, what, fists? She has 112 light points already. So if I ever get her AS style and Stellar Awakened, she'll be able to unlock her entire board immediately. So, okay. Well, we did not expect much, and we were not disappointed. So, let's go on with Lady Mid. Alright, I definitely am going to start pulling all of these. It's been a while, let's just go ahead and get them. So, Hozuki Altar is coming home.
Come on now, y'all. This here's gotta be some kind of trap. That ain't nowhere this peaceful.
Oh, she's a country girl.
Well, I guess since I'm here behind enemy lines and all, you think you could show me around a little bit? I ain't calling you an enemy, don't get me wrong. But I ain't saying we're friends either. I'm Hazuki. But when it comes to getting to know this place and getting to know you, I plan on taking my sweet time.
Okay. That's going to be some interesting character quests. Alright. Vermilion Whip has joined the team. Next. Akane. Come on home, Akane. And again, if you're doing the Whispers of Time drops, I would not be doing this right now if I were you.
Sir.
I'm just
Might
having
I
fun.
trouble you for a moment? There's something I should like to ask you. My name is Akane, and I
Oh,
set out on a journey
Akane.
to
I thought it was
hone my blade.
Akane.
However,
Akane.
I
Okay.
seem to have gotten lost along the way. But you seem no stranger to this place. Might you tell me how I can get out of here? This appears to be some sort of illusion. This is reality, you say? Unthinkable. I have no recourse but to run this place from end to end and dispel the illusion.
Yep, that sounds like her. Alright, Akane, the Blooming Blade, is part of the crew now. Next, CL. Hey there, CL.
Oh, gosh. My throat is killing me.
Oh! Himmy, how's it going, all my Himalites? Wow! You came all the way out here just to see little old me? Oh, thank you. Hey, you didn't hear all that, right? Right?
Yeah, we heard all that. Alright, virtual reflection. Join the party. Next, finally, and one of the reasons I did this video, last night I actually got a Phantom Crystal Dimension clear, first one in about 2 months, and I was able to get Renri's third opus, which has been avoiding me for more than 2 months. I've had 2 opuses, opi, plural of opus, forever, and I finally got my third Enforcer opus. So, Renri Alter, coming home.
Hey, you Aldo? Ah, great. You see, I'm working a story here and I've been hearing some rumors. You okay if I record this? I'm Renri, freelance reporter on the Street Beat. Glad to make your acquaintance and all that.
I'm glad to make your acquaintance too.
Now, as I see it, we're both in the business of taking down bad guys, right?
Yeah, I'd agree with
You got
that.
your sword and I got my pen. You follow?
Thought you also had an axe.
You tell 'em, I write 'em. And I bet you got tons of stories to tell, so why don't we make it a feature? Small town swordsman tells all. A hidden past finally unsheathed. How's that for a headline?
Sounds good. Just beef up my fire team. Alright, Undercover Scribe has joined the party. So now, if I look at this section, I got 2 left. So that's a nice sight to see for a free-to-play player. Now, with that in mind, it is time to blow some more chants, because I still have 38 chants. Now, 5 are reserved for Yakumo, and 5 are reserved for Yakumo another style. If I ever get him, I want to be able to immediately awaken both. So I am putting 10 aside for sure for the day that hopefully I see Yakumo. That leaves me with 28 chants, and I'm actually not going to use all 28. I'm going to hold a few more in reserve just in case some other surprise characters comes along, or if they announce that some existing character is going to get the Stellar Awakening treatment, I want to make sure I can 5-star them so I can have, one step into the Stellar Awakening. So I am going to awaken. I'm going to activate the unknown power to 3 additional characters. So some people might be going, well, Crono, how do you decide which characters to awaken? Well, what I've been noticing, Right Flyers Studios seems to be recently rolling out characters that can redeploy awaken zones over and over and over again. Right before the Stellar Awakening happened, some characters were starting to do that. For example, Melody AS. She was released and we were all amazed because she would basically just put up an awakened wind zone all the time. And really, you didn't have to do anything to activate it. You just fought for a round or 2, got the despairs up, and then boom, awakened wind zone, which if you had Cesta was like a godsend. So the developers were starting to release characters that awakened a zone over and over and over again. Then Stellar Awakening characters appeared, and most of those skills were tied to Stellar Awakening skills, which was a little annoying because then you had to basically either be really lucky and pull a Stellar Awakened character on their banner, or get 3 copies of them, or it's been a little bit harder to collect characters that can reawaken a zone over and over and over again. So now when I'm making my selections here, I am keeping that in mind. I'd like to try and ultimately get some characters that are either super ultra powerful or able to reawaken zones. And looking at my list right now, because I have some characters, I have Suzette and Melody. For Thunder, I have Gunts, the sidekick, who can reawaken a Thunder Zone. So I have some existing ways to do that. For Shade, Winnefica is the only character that I'm aware of that can reawaken a Shade Zone over and over again. I'm not including Melissa in that because Melissa technically can redeploy awakened zones of any type, but she has to be in a party full of Shade characters if she did a Shade Zone, for example. So we have, I do not have Winnefica able to do it. My Fire team, I have, let's see, well, before I do this, let's just show off my teams right now to kind of give you an idea. The reason I'm doing this is so that way if you are trying to build teams, maybe this gives you some guidance on which characters might be preferable. So in my Earth team, Shannon, just naturally, without any Stellar Awakening skills or anything, because she's not even a Stellar Awakened character, but Alter Shannon can awaken an Earth Zone over and over and over again. So I don't need an Earth character. Felmina ES can reawaken a Water Zone over and over and over again, and relatively easily as well. So I don't need another Water Zone Awakener. For Wind, I have both Melody and Suzette, so I'm double covered for Wind. Fire. I don't have any good way to reawaken a zone with Fire, so this team could use some support. Thunder, I have Gunts, who can reawaken a Thunder Zone. So it's not the most convenient way to do it, because I'd have to give up Tetra on the front line for a little bit, but technically I do have a way to do it. Crystal, Melissa can reawaken pretty much any zone. She has Hornet Hail, and if you Stellar Burst with Hornet Hail, it will deploy the zone that matches the highest number of type personalities. So if she is with, as I mentioned earlier, a bunch of Shade characters, she can deploy an Awakened Shade Zone. If she's with a bunch of Fire characters, she can deploy an Awakened Fire Zone. So technically I do have one character that can reawaken any zone I want. However, Melissa herself is Crystal and Wind, so she fits best with those types of teams. It would be kind of awkward for her to be in a Shade Zone, for example. But anyway, my Crystal team does have a way to redeploy an Awakened Crystal Zone as many times as I want. My Magic team has Xianghua, and she can reawaken a zone as many times as I want. Magic Zone. So, of my teams, Earth is covered, Water is covered, Wind is double covered, Fire is not, Thunder is covered, Crystal is covered, and Magic is covered. So when I am making these decisions, I'm thinking about my Fire team now. It's one of my oldest teams, actually. It's, I think, my third oldest team. I had an Alma team at first, then my Wind team, and then my Fire team came along. And it served me very well over the years, and still is a very strong team. But I've gotten to the point now where I really need to redeploy an Awakened Fire Zone to keep up with bosses. And that was part of the reason I wanted to get Renri Alter, because I also have enough treatises to awaken Minalca. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I now have Minalca's AS style. and I have not necessarily an improved Tetra, but I have a new version of Tetra. And she is a fire tank and a shadow character. Renri Alter is a shadow character. Iffy, of course, is shadow as well. And characters like Ewan, who's tremendous fire damage, is shadow. So I think, because my current fire team is a mix of light and shadow, so I think I might be able to build a stronger fire team that is pure shadow. So I'm looking forward to that. So now I have Renri Alter and I have Minalca, another style. So very happy about that. Now, who else am I going to awaken? Well, out of all these characters, Zilva has a bunch of interesting skills in his AS style. It is a Stellar Awaken style, but first steps first, I want to go ahead and maybe explore a little bit with Zilva and the damage that he can do. So now we have Zilva, AS. And then my Thunder team is fairly strong. I do have a way to reawaken it, but I have an Utpalaka. And he's only at 4 stars right now. So in kind of thinking to the future, my Thunder team is doing okay, but I think he might eventually bring some more to the table and make the Thunder team even better. So I want to go ahead and at least get him to his 5-star level. So that leaves me with 23 chant scripts, and 10 are reserved for the day that Yakumo finally discovers that I exist. So that leaves me with 10 more, so 2 more upgrades that I could do if I wanted to. And I think for now, I'm not really hurting for any other characters. There's a few that might make my life easier. I thought about Atoa's AS style. I've thought about Parissa's AS style. And then there's just a few other characters, like, for example, Mariel. I don't have her High Priestess style, and it has a revive. So, that could allow me possibly to do some interesting techniques. But I don't really see that style used even in YouTube videos. So, there's other characters I am interested in upgrading. Uella AS is supposedly really strong for crystal teams. But for the most part, I think I'm good. I have 7 really strong teams, and I just really beefed up my fire team. So, that said, let's take a look at those new characters. So let's do sword, fire. Where's my Minalca? Level 1 Heiress. Now, Stellar. I have been hoarding all Cosmos star charts, like many of you. So I mentioned one of my weaknesses for the fire team is that I do not have a way to awaken a fire zone infinitely. Minalca AS, her Stellar skill, does that. It deploys an awakened fire stance, and with 3 shadow allies, I gain some heart fire and some other things. So it's very important to me to go ahead and make her AS active. So I am going to finally start blowing some all Cosmos star charts. I have to do all 3 because when you manually upgrade characters, they don't gain 1 point towards their awakening, which is honestly really stupid to me. But that's how the game works. So I'm going to blow 3 all Cosmos star charts on Minalca AS, and now I have Stellar Awakened Minalca. I have been using my free characters get 5 points a month if they run a particular dungeon. I have been running enough dungeons to get her shadow points up past 30. 30 is kind of the minimum if I want to get all 4 branches really quick. So we are going to... Oh, level 80 is required. Forgot about that part. I have so many scrolls, it's... getting them all to 80 is not a big deal. Alright. So, we are getting overkill. And now I can awaken a fire zone as many times as I want. The one area I was weak with. So, let's go ahead and unlock some more. If you don't have too many stellar points to play with, there are times where I look at these abilities, by the way, and in this case, you know, this particular stellar skill is useful because she's going to be with a shadow team. But sometimes the ability that's here or the ability that's here really isn't that helpful. So sometimes I'll get the first level and then I'll turn around and open up their levels to get to level 90, because 10 levels worth of stats, 10 levels worth of hit points, to me is often more valuable than whatever the skill is here or whatever the skill is there. So if you don't have that many SP points, usually the stellar skill is a good choice, and usually the enhance ability is a good choice. But the light shadow ability and the stellar burst boost sometimes really don't seem worthwhile to me. So if you are stellar awakening someone and don't have many SP points, you know, think to yourself, how badly do you need these, or versus how much better could your character be with 10 more levels? So anyway, in this particular case, I don't have to worry about that because I have enough to do all of that. And then the very next thing I always do is open them up to level 100. You know, 20 extra levels of stats and hit points and mana to me is more worthwhile. And then finally I have to look at the remaining options. Now, Minalca AS is a tank. Tanks tend to like health. You could make an argument that stats, you know, improving endurance and spirit also improves their survivability. So I usually favor one or the other. In this case, I am probably going to go ahead and just do health. I strongly believe that the more health a tank has, the more options you'll have during the fight. So that's how I'm spending my points, but you know, once you get to level 100 and once you have the abilities unlocked, it's really a judgment call. So right now, without any equipment, without any Grasta, she has 4,000 health, and I can awaken a fire zone as many times as I want. So that is one character that I really want to awaken. Next. I had a whole bunch of gems saved up over time, and I felt it was worth it to blow on some additional characters. Shion had 1 point because he was a 5-star when his awakening was released, so I blew the gems to fully stellar awaken him. And yay, Shion stellar awakened. And like Minalca, I've pulled him enough times that I had over 30 light points, so that allows me to get his stellar skills. And I really wanted to awaken him because, remember, not only are there ways to redeploy awakened element zones, his will redeploy a slash zone, an awakened slash zone, over and over and over again. So again, I feel it's very important to start collecting characters that can redeploy awakened zones infinitely. Right now, he is the only character in the game that can redeploy an awakened slash zone with his stellar skill. So we'll go ahead and unlock the rest. I don't even remember what they are, and I'm barely reading them. I don't care. I'm happy. I can redeploy a slash zone over and over and over again. So now I got 10 points left. Do I want stats? Do I want HP? Or do I want MP? He's a damage dealer, so you could definitely make an argument 10 extra power would be nice. But in general, I do tend to favor health all the time, because if they survive, like a fixed damage attack, things like that, then they can continue fighting. Can't do damage when you're dead. So I tend to unlock, let's do these HP nodes, why not? I tend to start with the HP. Once I've done all those, like if he continues to get more points, then I would start unlocking stats, and I usually do MP last. Just for your own knowledge, besides Xianghua being able to redeploy an awakened magic zone, and Shion being able to redeploy an awakened slash zone, Yakumo AS can also redeploy infinitely a magic zone, Daisy AS can redeploy a bash zone, and as of November 2024, there's not a single character in the game that can redeploy an awakened piercing zone. So I fully expect probably within the next month or two, I'm betting there's going to be probably a bow character. That's my personal prediction based on absolutely nothing, but I bet you there's going to be a bow character that will be able to redeploy an awakened pierce zone over and over and over again. But right now, none exist. So as of Shion's awakening, now I can redeploy every single zone infinitely except Shade, and I don't have Daisy AS awakened, so I can't do a bash zone. But all the other zones and all the other weapon types I can redeploy infinitely. So, and I always get my Stellar Awakened characters up 1 point to level 81, which I realize I did not do yet with, Minalca. There's absolutely no reason for me to do that, but that way if I sort by level, all of my awakened characters appear first. And then I go to the level 80s and below. Anyway, I am not done. I am going to awaken 2 more characters. I mentioned I had collected a lot of gems. Well, I have collected a lot of gems. And I went ahead and bought Shanie's star charts. Now, why am I awakening her? Funsies. She's the newest of the old characters to get an awakening, and she seems kind of interesting. She seems like she's going to be really powerful if you have 2 male characters, and she is water, and there aren't that many water male characters. Right now, Dunrith Alter and maybe Dewey, his AS style might be the best 2 of the males, but I'm wondering with the Eastern mythos going if we aren't going to encounter some type of Eastern male water user at some point. So anyway, I had the gems. I decided I'm going to buy some more star charts, so we are going to go ahead and awaken Shanie. Now, Shanie only has 24 light points. I have not run the dungeon yet, so I can get her up to 29, and I have a ton of guiding light swords, so I could always blow 1 more. So I can eventually get her at 30 and get some more Stellar Awakening points. But in the meantime, I always go for the Stellar skill first, and then I read the abilities. Okay, this one, I stack 1 Laguz and increase light power based on number of male allies. Okay, this one, if you have 4 sword, katana, axe, or water allies, she works best with a water team, so this one would be a good choice. On Stellar Burst, when light power is greater, damage on weak point until end of turn. So this is only helpful if you Stellar Burst right before your team does some type of massive attack, and it only helps if you have more light characters than Shadow. And with the restrictions on the males, that one might be kind of a tricky one to do. So to me, this one is not terribly important, because we also have to rely on whatever boss we're fighting have a weak point. So if it's not weak to water, then this is completely worthless no matter what. So this pathway, I think I could skip. I liked this one, so we're going to go ahead and spend here. This one takes 1 point, 1 point, and 3 points. So this pathway takes 5. So we'll go ahead and open it up. I have 5 points left. I could either do this path completely, which may or may not be really all that helpful, or I could give her 10 more levels. See, I will go for the levels any day. I usually get the first ability, just in case. But now I have 2 points left. I could increase intelligence and luck and work my way this way. I could increase her power, but I can't get this ability because I don't have enough points. As I said, I can give her more points, and I probably will. In fact, I'll probably run her dungeon today or tomorrow, get her up to 29, and then toss in 1 guiding light for 30. So ultimately, I will eventually get these. So to me, it doesn't really matter. But this is how I would probably do things if you don't have that many Stellar Awakening points to do. So let's see. In her case, let's give her some power. And let's, I don't know, give her some luck. I'll open up the others sometime. And like the others, now she's level 81. All right, we're still not done. Renri. Oh, Renri Altar is not an axe user. What is Renri Altar? She's probably level 1, isn't she? Yep. Fist user. Okay. So let's get her up to level 80. Now, she does not do an infinite fire zone, but I read over some of her Stellar Awakening skills. And she can improve critical damage, all type damage. In Stellar Burst, she creates a link. So I think her Stellar skill will be very, very helpful to boost up the team's fire damage. And I do want to use her. So I think, even though it kind of kills me to use up 3 of my remaining 6 All Cosmos star charts, and I know I'm going to get one in like 2 more weeks when December hits, but still, you know, if Yakumo AS appears, there goes the rest of my star charts. But I think she would be a good use for star charts. So we are going to go ahead. Oh, I kind of hate to do this, but we're doing it anyway. Yes. Why you make me ask twice? I made my decision. Okay. All right. We have Stellar Awakened Renri Altar. Now, her issue, I do not have any shadow pretty much, and I could, let's see, I need 30 points to give her 40 Stellar Awakenings. I need only 15 to give her 20. So we are going to go ahead and give her the 15 to get her started so I can access her Stellar Awakening. That does not give me many Luring Shadow Fists left. That said, Ewan has over 80 shadow points. Oh, he's hammer. He's not fists. I'm not sure which characters I have that are fists. Let me, well, we'll take first things first. So now I have enough points to get that stellar skill. Okay, we only have 15 points, and if I don't blow the rest and just do it with dungeons, then I have 3 months of dungeon running before I will have the next 15 points. So let's take a look. 3 shadow allies, shadow powers stored up. Well, I now have Minalca, I have Ewan, and I have her. So right there is going to be 3 shadow allies. And probably Iffy or someone. So this one, probably a good choice. Grant co-op to all frontline shadow allies except her and activate a skill. That's a good choice as well. She's going to be with a bunch of shadow characters, and getting one skill used right away is always nice. Alright, when shadow power is greater at Stellar Burst, I get knockback immunity twice for all party members. Well, that one not quite as important to me. A lot of bosses don't have knockback. The ones that do, there are other ways to avoid knockback, so I don't think I care about this one. So let's go ahead and unlock this ability. Unlock this ability, give her her levels, and I have 3 points left, so let's go ahead and get the ability. 1 time versus 2 times really does not mean that much to me. And now I have 2 points left, and she, I believe, does some decent damage if I remember right. So between spirit or double power, I think we're going to have to go with double power. And now we will raise her up to level 81 as well. So that, I think, concludes. I have 3 All-Cosmos star charts, just in case Yakumo appears tomorrow. It's not going to happen, but I have the option if it does. And let's reset the filter. I'm now up to 207 characters, thanks to the 4 altars that we just got. I have a lot more choices with my Stellar Awakened crew now, which I'm excited about. And I have the capability, let me, not board, let me go to my party. My fire team, Minalca, could take over as tank. My damage dealer could be Ewan now.
What we doing today, boys?
And instead of Sukiya, I could have Renri.
Help me with my story?
So Ewan has his entire stellar board fully awakened, and Minalca has enough that she has all the basics covered, and Renri has most of the basics covered. But they all have their stellar skills. So I'm thinking this group might make for a very good fire team, and I will be able to awaken it infinitely thanks to Minalca. So that was kind of the basis of some of my choices. Obviously, I'll have to look at the reserve characters, because if Ewan is the main damage dealer, I'm going to probably want some hammer and, fire types back here, beefing him up instead of Aldo and Violet. And sidekick-wise, do I have to level up? Yep. I have to level up the new Tetra, which I think for the most part does pretty much the same thing as old Tetra. I think it still heals, still does everything, except for Minalca Eris gains a stigmata versus Nemesis gets lethal mode. I think that's pretty much the main damage when they use the main difference when they use reincarnation. I Attack on all enemies based on restoration. Based on restoration, revive, and restore. And grant hold ground. And grant hold ground. Yep. The reincarnation skill is identical. The auto skill is identical. The only difference is lethal mode versus stigmata. And I have to level up Tetra. Alright guys, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude my binge. I have awakened 4 characters. I have gained 4 altar characters, and then I have powered up Utpalaka, Zilva, and Minalca. So I am really excited. I'm going to start working with these characters, and this does give me a few more options. I would like to feature Minalca and Renri for sure on my character development series. At the moment, because I still need to play with them and really get to know them before I make the videos, and I'm not promising anything, but I thought for November, since we're in the Eastern mythos, and I just now was able to awaken Shion, I thought doing a Shion pairing might be fun. Shion Stellar Awakened and Alter Shion. I'm kind of waiting to see what the announcement is in a few days, because Alter Shion has made some appearances already in the Eastern mythos, and I'm kind of curious, are they going to Stellar Awaken an Alter character? I don't know, but I didn't want to make a video about him just to find out like in a week that, oh, he's about to gain a whole bunch of new abilities, so then my prior video would be kind of pointless. No promises, but that's who I'm thinking about for November. And then, as I mentioned, I have Renri, I have Minalca, I have Shanie, and other characters now that I can make some videos about that might be helpful as well. That said, we're in the middle of November right now, and I am wrapping up, finally, my busy season. As I've mentioned in other videos, I'm a teacher and I'm a coach. 2 of my sports that I coach are coming to an end very soon, which means I do not have to work from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. every single day anymore. That'll be starting pretty much Thanksgiving in America. I know some places celebrate Thanksgiving at different times. And so I'm going to have a lot more free time in a few more weeks. So I'm very excited about that, and I will try to get out a bunch of videos in late November and December. So I have a bunch of new characters to play with. All right, I think that concludes this. I've rambled enough, and I'm going to go ahead and start to work on character quests. Yay! I hope this helps you in your decision making when you go to use your very precious chant scripts or all cosmos star charts. Hopefully by me explaining my logic in this, you can kind of look at what your needs are and, make the best decisions for yourselves. So hope this helps. Casual Crono signing out.